Hey everyone. So yes, I dressed up for this particular devotional and I hope you enjoy my outfit because I want you to know these are probably my most comfortable clothes that I own. I absolutely love this shirt. I've had it for several years and I love it, and I love these pants as well. They fit me just right. I absolutely love them. The problem is Melanie doesn't really love them that much. You can probably tell why she doesn't love the pants all that much. She doesn't really like the shirt anymore because probably the big old hole that's in the shoulder. Of course, if I'm going to go out and it's cold, I can always pull out my favorite sweatshirt. I love this sweatshirt, but like my shirt and my pants, the problem is the sleeves are starting to wear out. And yes, there is a giant hole there as well. That's kind of how it is with old clothes. But you know, for some reason, even with those old clothes, those things that we have that we hold on to, we just don't want to get rid of them. In fact, a couple years ago, some friends gave me some new Charlie Brown pajamas that I could wear during Christmas time. And although I have these new ones, I still love my old ones. These are the ones I've had for so many years, and I can't get rid of them even though I've got new ones. I don't wear them anymore because, yes, they've got gigantic holes in the backside too. I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll get rid of them, but right now I hold on to those things. You know how it is. Come on, I know there's others of you out there that have those old comfortable clothes that you simply do not want to get rid of. And you know what, when it comes to things like clothes, maybe that's okay. Maybe it's okay to hold on those things that make you feel comfortable, those things that you love, that you've had for years and years and years. Maybe it's okay to hold on to those things. But you know, when it comes to issues of faith, maybe that's when we need to begin to consider getting rid of some old things so that we can make way for some new things. There's actually several stories in Scripture that would illustrate this, but I ran across a couple the other day, and they both come to us from Matthew chapter 9. And I think that Matthew has put these two stories together for a reason, because they begin to focus on how some folks wanted to hold on to what was old while Jesus was trying to bring something new. So, Matthew chapter 9, let's listen to this first story. Beginning at verse 9, it says, "As Jesus was walking along, he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax booth, and he said to him, 'Follow me.' And he got up and he followed him. And as he sat at dinner in the house, many tax collectors and sinners came and were sitting with him and his disciples. Now when the Pharisees saw this, they said to his disciples, 'Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?' But when Jesus heard this, he said, 'Those who are well need no physician, but those who are sick. Go and learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice, for I have come to call not the righteous, but the sinners.'" Then the very next story says this, "Then the disciples of John came to Jesus, saying, 'Why do we and the Pharisees fast often, but your disciples do not fast?' And Jesus said to them, 'A wedding guest cannot mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them, can they? The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast. No one sews a piece of unshrunk cloth onto an old cloak, for the patch pulls away from the cloak, and worse tears is made. Neither is new wine put into old wineskins. Otherwise, the skins burst, and the wine is spilled, and the skins are destroyed. But new wine is put into new skins, so that both are preserved.'" I think that last part of that passage really drives home the point that Jesus is trying to make. You see, these folks that come to Jesus had been praying that the Messiah would come. They had been hoping for the Messiah. They've been longing for the Messiah to come. And then when Jesus actually comes, because he doesn't do things like they expect, because he begins to try to change some things that had become the acceptable status quo, suddenly they don't want to have any part of him. It's almost as if they don't want to get rid of those old clothes, not because they've just found a new set, but because they just feel like these things are just so comfortable. How can we give up what is old in order to accept something that is new? You know, new is sometimes difficult. It's hard to break things in, isn't it? It's sometimes not quite as comfortable at first. It takes a while for us to get used to the new. You know, I have to say that during this whole last year of COVID, do you realize we're almost been a year? During this whole last year of COVID, there were things that we were comfortable with, ways that we had always done things, and those ways that we have always done things have been really comfortable. But you know, I was also during that time praying that God would do something new. I was always looking for God to do something new in our world. And you know what? Perhaps God is doing something new. But there's this part of me that wants to hold on to old clothes. There's this part of me that wants to go back to the way it was before, and God just might be calling us to do something very different. You can't put new wine into old wineskins. You can't patch a new piece of cloth onto, or an old piece of cloth onto a new piece of cloth, because it's going to pull away. You see, the new that is coming is new that God is ushering in for us. And it's going to be time where we are challenged, just as those disciples of John and those Pharisees were challenged. There's going to be a time when we are challenged with the new. It's not going to be the same, but perhaps it's what God is trying to do among us. Now, yes, one of these days I'll get rid of these old things. But for now, I'm just going to keep them in the closet, because you never know when I need to get comfortable, right? But you know what? I don't want to do that with my faith. I really don't. I want to be ready for whatever God is doing, and I want to embrace that new that He brings us. I hope God is beginning to show you those new things as well. So let's look together and let's make a promise that we're going to do our best to embrace the new thing that God is bringing to us. Thank you all.